Okay, so setup wise on the left, okay, you can see the left hand one, again, a bit slouched over and the sort of weight forward on your toes now. So as you took the golf club back now on this left hand one, your arms sort of moving the club in here. Now your body kind of stops and your arms are doing the lifting. So your hands barely get above your right shoulder. That's kind of your backswing, maybe there. That's your backswing before, okay? What we want to try and do is get the weight, as you can see now, more over the toes there through the shoulder, okay? And then in your practice swing now, make practice swings that just feel the stupidest, biggest shoulder turn you could possibly make, which is this one here now. And look how much higher the hands are getting, okay? So you get above your head, and that felt to you daft, yeah? You had a good hip turn, the hips got out of the way, the shoulders got out of the way, and you're getting the club way back here now in a much better position. And then when you step to the golf ball, now having just done that, you just hit it. Maybe put a trigger word in there, maybe it's just turn or rotate or whatever it may be, but you get the sensation now that you're able to rotate your torso and the arms can get, and there's your backswing. I mean, there's almost daylight now between your right shoulder and your hands. And look at those two backswings there. I mean, that's actually going somewhere.
There's actually still a little bit of a lift.
There's a bit of the arms with the lift, exactly. The arms lift fine as long as the body keeps rotating. They're going to lift kind of on plane. If the body stops, if I sort of face towards you now, if I don't turn my torso and lift my arms are lifting over here. If I turn my torso round the corner, I'm now lifting them in front of you. So where your arms lift is going to be relevant to how much your body has rotated. If the body stops rotating for one reason or another, poor posture, fitness, fatigue or stiffness, lack of playing, as you said, weight too much on the toes, or going back on the heels and squatting. Again, you can bend your knees too much if you're not careful, and then you get in a situation where you aren't able to rotate as well. So that's going to restrict your movement potential. But at least from there now, there's no over the top there at all. I mean, that club's coming really nicely from the inside there. Lovely strike in this case, and through to a nice balanced position there. As a good shot, head sort of staying nice and stable. That there, the club now is coming down through a much better angle here, more through your right forearm. There's some good angles here because your body and your arms swing are more in sync. Whereas this one now, because you haven't really gone back with the body, now as you come back down, the club's just not quite working on. It's a little bit nearer the shaft in terms of angle of attack. Reasonable kind of strike you kind of found it, but looked a little bit kind of awkward through the golf ball, a bit of a reach for it. And as you said, it feels a bit out of sync, the timing's wrong, it doesn't quite feel as smooth. But if you've got two components in the golf swing, obviously your torso providing the rotation and the club moving around your body and the arms doing the lifting, if they're not working together and one is working more than the other, when you come back to the golf ball, they're not going to be coming back at the same time. And that's been the problem. And then you've had to try and find where that ball is in terms of timing, which, as I said, good golfers like you get it, but it takes you 10 or 15 shots on the range. And then what happens in terms of people's practice, they go to the range and they go, I really got a good rhythm, I started finding my swing. I haven't really found their swing, they just found a good reaction that day. Because then when you go on the weekend, you play the first game of golf and that first tee shot snap hooks 30 yards left, or you block it down the second fairway, you're like, oh, where's it gone now? And the next shot's not a tee shot from that same tee, potentially it's going to be a 6-iron or a 5-iron with the ball below your feet, or a chip out the trees on the left hand side. Then you've got a tee shot up the hill, then you've got a par 3. So all this variance we've got in the game of golf, if you're relying on kind of timing and other things trying to work together, it's not really going to help, is it? You're going to struggle to get anywhere near that kind of consistency of strike, and then your bad shot will be worse, as opposed to making your bad shot being a little bit pulley, a little bit pushy. But for you as a golfer, knowing you now from sessions, for you it's you just have to find a good strike. If you can find a good strike initially, you can kind of work the club face, can't you? If you get the strikes poor, it's a bit slappy, a bit heely, a bit bottomy, a bit drop kicky. Even if you go straight, you feel a bit sort of like underwhelmed by the shot, don't you? So getting that body to rotate, get the arms and the body sync together. But to do that, I think you've got to be in a position at address where you can do it. And I think in terms of practice swings, just try and make as big a turn as you can, really get that sensation, really getting that stretch around there. And the more you can do that, almost for every single shot when you're on the range, because every time you do that, if you get 50 balls on the range, that's 50 really good stretches, plus the 50 swings you're going to make, we'll say half have a good backswing, so that's 75 good stretches. You do that a couple of times a week, 150 over a month, that's the 600 sort of stretches that are going to start increasing that flexibility and range of motion. Does that make sense, everybody? Good stuff, okay, mate.
It's a case of really getting it. It's back to the old adage. If your posture is good, you got a good chance of being a bad swing. Good chance of being a good swing.
Exactly. And the thing is, posture basically relates to all things in terms of angle of your spine, both in terms of straight or bent, and the angle of it, and your weight distribution kind of is relevant to your posture. You can have a great spine angle, but be tipped on your tiptoes, and your posture's poor. So Okay, mate.
I bet if you pulled up the last video.